Hi guys, welcome to Rats on the Ice YouTube channel, the one and only YouTube channel out there on the Florida Panthers, and this is your host, Luke Gregory. So today I'm going to talk about why I am a Florida Panthers fan up here in Boston. You know, people are constantly being asked up here, even some people down in Florida have asked, what makes you a Panthers fan up here in Boston? Like, you've got the Bruins, you know? And here's my story on how I became a Florida Panthers fan and why, to this day, I am still a #1 diehard Florida Panthers fan in Bruins country. It all started back in '93. Started their first year. And I started like them around November of that year. You know, I was looking at the standings and I saw this team called the Panthers, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. You know, I saw their logo and I'm like, hey, that's a cool logo. Really like that. And I have a fascination with anything cats. As you know, if you guys saw my videos from last year, you always saw my cats in my videos. So I'm like, I'm going to follow this team. You know, I started following them and all that. And back then, I didn't have cable where I was living in. There was no such thing as the internet, and there was no such thing as Twitter and all this stuff. So it was very hard to get scores. And what you had to rely on back then, especially if you lived up here, was like the sports channels, ESPN, Headline News would always have that ticker down at the bottom that would show the score. So what I would do is call my grandmother every night. We had a game and stuff like that. And this is actually my grandmother right here. She actually passed away in 2003, I believe. And I always would call her up. She'd get the scores for me, and it was horrible during the like college basketball season. She seriously would be on there for 10 minutes, if not longer, trying to get me the score for her game. And back then, too, they didn't have DVR, so she was missing her shows just so she could get me the score for a Florida Panthers fan. She bought me my first Florida Panthers jersey. She bought me a couple other things, Florida Panthers related, and it really bonded us, me and her, and it was a special bond that we had, and I always will remember that. And it's what's kept me being a loyal Florida Panthers fan to this day. It's one of the main reasons. It's because of my grandmother. I actually went to my first game. My father brought me to my first game back in '95 season, shortened season, '94-'95, when we played their last game against the Boston Bruins in the Boston Garden. And we went to a couple other games rest of the year, rest of this decade. He brought me to several games. But the most magical year, one of the most magicals now, had to be '95-'96. Obviously the cup run and all that. But I actually went to my first playoff game ever when we played the Bruins in the what used to be known as the Fleet Center. It was actually also the first game the Bruins played in the playoffs back then, in that stadium. And we ended up winning that game. And I actually met this couple there that were Panther fans that would travel all over the North America to go to see the Panthers play. They even went up to Edmonton and stuff like that. And the lady actually had Paul's Laws flip me up a puck into where we were sitting, which was pretty cool. And actually where I was sitting was the second row from the glass. That's how close I was, so it was really cool. And then later on, during that playoff run, my teacher, the same one that brought me to the game, also wrote a letter to Wayne Huizenga to send me Panthers memorabilia. I ended up getting a nice, huge package from them as well, including the couple that I met at the Bruins game. So that was one of my most memorable seasons for the Cats. Then I finally moved in with my wife and her place, and I actually ended up getting the NHL package there with her. So I was able to watch all the games, finally, of the Panthers. I even went down there to see a home opener by myself. First game down there. We won against the Kings. It was their home opener. Then me and my wife went again and saw them beat the Montreal Canadiens 7-4 on an afternoon game. And while I was there, I got this picture with Stanley C. Panther, which was really awesome. I hounded him to get his picture. Just recently, was actually last year that I went on to going to Twitter, started socializing with all you got great Twitter followers I have, and then I decided to do the channel, my blog last year. I had a blog which I did this day in Florida Panthers history. Then I started my YouTube channel last year, and the last year was so far been the most magical for me as a Florida Panthers fan. We're not even through this year, so I don't even know what can happen to make it even more magical. But I met Panthers following me on Twitter, which was awesome. Bill Lindsay, one of my all-time favorite Florida Panthers, followed me on Twitter, and I actually got to meet up with him, Steve Goldstein, George Richards, Harvey, Randy Moeller, when the Panthers came up to Boston in March of this year to see a practice and stuff like that. I got a picture with Steve and Bill. It was awesome. I was just on cloud nine. You should have seen me. Like I didn't know what to say to Bill. Me and him were there before, just sitting there talking and stuff like that, and I was just in awe. I was like, I couldn't form words. It was so magical. Like I never pictured that day to ever happen. Then again, I got just so many positive feedbacks from my blog, the YouTube channel, and all that. This year is looking to be even a better year as a Florida Panthers fan. And I was able to finally get a ticket to go to the game. Like I mentioned in my last video, I was hoping to get a ticket out. I got a ticket. I'm going to go see the Panthers play tomorrow night against the Boston Bruins. I am so pumped. I'm going to meet Bill and Steve again tomorrow during the practice. And this year has just been awesome. So again, that is why I'm a Florida Panthers fan, guys, up here in Boston. Again, I love this team more than anything. I always joke with my wife that there's three things that are my top loves in my life right now: the Panthers, my cat, and then my wife. Yeah, this whole ride this last over a year has just been absolutely magical as a Florida Panthers fan for me, and I can't thank you guys enough for your support on this channel and all my great followers again on Twitter. I just can't emphasize how much it means to me. Like yesterday, I was having a rough day at work and stuff like that, and I just saw Twitter followers just tweet that, hey, I should be flown down to Florida for a game. The Panthers should pay for a game, and I should get hooked up with tickets. All right, guys, so that's it. Again, thank you all for your support. I greatly appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. It really does. And I cannot wait to do the video tomorrow. I plan on taking some pictures tomorrow. I'm going to post on the video, the recap. So I do plan on buying a rat tomorrow. So hopefully that can be thrown on the ice, which would be awesome. So look forward to doing that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.